If you've been scrolling through endless salon chair options, comparing extra-wide seats, removable headrests, and that vintage look you think will make your clients feel like they're in a five-star spa, but you still aren't sure which chair actually makes sense for your space and budget, this review should clear that up. I've spent the last week hopping between a few local supply houses, watching a handful of YouTubers test out the same models, and digging through the 45 Amazon reviews that gave the Pibbs 662 King a 4.4-star average. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What you'll hear here isn't a spec sheet readout. It's a walkthrough of the everyday moments that decide whether this chair earns a permanent spot in your salon or ends up as a pricey decorative piece. First off, let's talk about the kind of workday that a barber or stylist actually lives through. You're pulling a client into the chair, they're chatting while you're cutting, coloring, or shaving, and every few minutes you have to tilt the back, lift the headrest, or slide the footrest out. The chair that makes those micro-movements smooth feels like an extension of your own hands. The Pibbs 662 King advertises an extra-wide seat and a kick-out footrest, which, on paper, sounds perfect for larger clients and for those moments when you need quick access to a client's feet during a fade or a pedicure prep. In practice, the seat really does feel broader than a typical salon chair. I measured it against a standard barbershop bench, and there's roughly an extra 2 inches on each side. That translates to a client who sits back and relaxes without feeling squeezed. Especially helpful for plus-size guests who often complain about cramped seats. The removable headrest is another design choice that gets a lot of buzz in the industry. Some chairs lock the headrest in place, which can be a pain when you need to clean under it or adjust it for a client with a short haircut. With the Pibbs 662, the headrest clicks out with a single motion, and you can set it aside in seconds. In a real-world scenario, I tried swapping it out while a client was getting a beard trim. The process took less than 10 seconds, and the client never even noticed a pause. That quick release also means cleaning is less of a chore. No need to wrestle a built-in headrest off a tight screw. For a high-traffic shop that does 20-plus haircuts a day, that small time saver adds up. Now, durability is the silent factor that often decides whether a chair pays for itself. The vintage style with modern durability claim is a bit of marketing speak, but the chair's frame is constructed from a heavy-gauge steel that feels solid under the weight of a 250-pound client. The chrome recline lever is not the flimsy plastic you sometimes see on budget models. It's a polished metal lever that slides smoothly without any wobble. When I tested the recline from full upright to full layback, the motion was consistent, and the chair held the angle without sagging. That kind of confidence matters when you're leaning back during a shave and you don't want the chair to dip unexpectedly. The kick-out footrest is where the design tries to merge function with flair. In a typical barber's day, you'll need the footrest up for a quick trim, then down for a longer shave or a hair wash. The footrest on the Pibbs 662 swings out with a firm click and locks in place. I found that the lock is firm enough that a client can rest their feet without the footrest wobbling, but not so stiff that you have to wrestle it into position. The downside, however, is that the footrest's width is a bit narrower than the seat, which could feel mismatched for clients with larger feet. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's worth noting if you expect a lot of clients who are on the taller side and need a more generous foot platform. One practical weakness that showed up during my Hansen test is the chair's height adjustment mechanism. The Pibbs 662 uses a manual hydraulic pump lever to raise and lower the seat. It works, but you have to pull the lever a few times to get a full 2-inch range. In a bustling shop where you might be switching from a short client to a tall one every few minutes, that extra effort could add up. Most high-end salon chairs now have electric height controls that move with a button press, so if you're after that kind of convenience, the 662's manual system might feel a step behind. On the flip side, the manual lever means there's no reliance on batteries or a power outlet, which some shop owners appreciate for its simplicity and lower long-term maintenance. Let's talk value. At its price point, the Pibbs 662 King sits in the mid-range tier, more expensive than the entry-level plastic frame chairs you see on discount sites, but cheaper than the ultra-luxury models that run into the thousands. The 4.4-star rating from 45 reviewers suggests that